Welcome to
Better late than never.
Good to Geek Out. Good place to go to geek out. That's what you're here to do, to geek out, right? We continue covering, for the second time, The Mandalorian, Chapter 14, The Tragedy. What's up, fellas? Let's jump in.
Rob Lucy coming at you from Phoenix, Oregon. Excited to talk about this week's episode. Two of my lifelong friends into the geeky stuff. Spoilers ahead. Very excited. Rob, how are you feeling about this week's episode?
Two pistols in my holster, good, with one rocket on my back. Boba Fresh coming in from San Francisco. Very excited about this episode and the ways that it expanded, filled out, and supported the existing world. It was a beautiful flux in time. I really gave a flux about this episode.
That should be patent pending. That's pretty good. So cold open. We've been kind of commenting on every one this season. The Grogu cold open, kind of cutesy, little endearing. Got to drop another dank ferric in there, and just a little bonding. What do you guys think about the cold open, kind of compared to the last ones as well?
Yeah, I think it highlighted their closeness when the Mandalorian was speaking to Grogu. It was almost like he was talking to himself, and the nice, melancholy music in the background. Like he's almost regretting having to, at some point in time, give Grogu to whoever, somebody who doesn't even really know. And it showed their bonding. I thought it was important.
I agree with both of you. I think that we got some good to go Grogu, making sure that there's some stocking stuffed with a Grogu with every little possible accessory. You can get the vinyl Grogu with the little Death Star in his hand. You can get the plush sleep with the pillow, eat a frog Grogu. You can get the eat an egg Grogu that comes with 6 eggs that you can put inside his belly, and there's a Velcro strap that you can get the eggs inside of. Are you listening, Hasbro? Are you listening to what I'm throwing over the plate for you? Come to me, Boba Fresh, San Francisco.
All right, episode directed also by Robert Rodriguez, which you can kind of see halfway in. Before we get to the action part, the Seeing Stone. Interesting scene. A little humor in there too. Does this look Jedi enough to you? A few lines. A little lighthearted stuff. And then we also got to see Grogu on the jetpack flying around, not fearful. Kind of cute. What do you guys think about that beginning? Suck you in?
I thought it was totally adorable. Again, agree with you. He's just like tucked in there, and his ears are all flapping in the wind. It's a great setup for us endearing and us caring about Grogu, and obviously us being like, can Mando protect him? Of course he can protect him. What am I talking about? Can Mando protect him? No, wait, I'm tripping. Of course Mando can protect him. And so that tension that they set up throughout the entire episode, that was, as soon as you saw the Dark Troopers last episode, you're like, can he protect him? Because that's a lot of Dark Troopers down Gideon's hallway there. So I think that they set up the tension, and the design of the actual place was totally cool. First of all, I love it when I watch TV and I'm like, oh, we're back in Southern California. Just like how MASH was Korean Southern California and all these other places. I was like, as a kid, I was like, does everywhere just look like Southern California as a default thanks to the media that I absorb? My mom was a huge MASH fan.
After the whole Grogu sets off the Seeing Stone, we have the introduction of some characters we've seen before. We get Boba Fett and what's her name again? Let's take it from there.
Finnick.
There we go.
Finnick.
Which means that scene from season 1 was Boba Fett walking up on her corpse.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, I will say that I do like in the previously ons how they do a great job setting up what's important for you to remember from the last episodes into
Yeah.
this one. And that was one of those things because there's so much conjecture online about who is what and what is who. So it was nice for them to go right into that and kind of serve you on a platter this fan theory and this fan service. What do you think, Lucy?
I was excited. So that, as you had mentioned, the tension's building, and you know there's going to be some serious conflict. So I'm anticipating this moment, and then you see Slave One drop into the atmosphere and turn, and it happened really quick. And I was like, "Oh, was that Slave One? Was that Slave One?" And then he jumps down the hill, and then they put Boba Fett in robes in front of you. You're like, "Oh my God, Boba Fett, Slave One," and then. Fennec, how they bring Fennec in was amazing. They did a great job, as you were saying, with the recap of priming you for that character. And then just so excited to see Boba Fett after 40 years of anticipation. What can this guy really do on the big screen? And that just building, he's going to be badass. And then it goes. They make that deal. And the shooting starts. Amazing special effects. The troopers come in. From there, what did you think, Ed?
It was. I liked the callback at the beginning when they did the simple man making his way in the galaxy, which is with Jango Fett. I went back and watched episode 2 after this episode. It was because a lot of stuff is kind of tied to it.
It was a good episode. I don't know if it was that good.
No, those love scenes are terrible, man. The worst. Right. I realized watching it that what it is, it's like a 5-year-old literally playing with dolls. The dialogue is like, "Oh, but I love you so much," and it's like, "Oh God, it's terrible."
Terrible.
But anyway, like, and then also he says, like my father before me, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, this is just straight Star Wars dialogue from other movies, like verbatim." And then, like you said, the fight starts. Get a little indie boulder scene. We get a lot of stuff, but seeing Boba with the gaffy stick, you always assume you don't know how he is without the armor. You get to see him this time with not even like his normal weapons, and then you see how effective he is once he does get his weapons of choice back. It was just great all around. Like you said, everyone knows how dope he is, and he's never been really displayed on anything that's like mass media produced, comic books and cartoons and stuff like that. But yeah, to see it on the big screen, like you said, was great. It was amazing. I'm glad nobody spoiled it either. I didn't see too much online about it like I did about Ahsoka the previous week. What'd you
Oh
think,
shit,
Sean?
Ahsoka was on last. Ahsoka was on last week.
I heard.
I think that the storytelling this season has been beautiful because they know that we know what's going on. They know that we're looking at the IMDb's. They know like all of these little ways that people can decipher and determine what's happening, and so they get ahead of just showing Boba Fett in the very first episode and be like, yeah, this is coming. Fucking calm down, slow down, don't worry. And it was so effective of a piece that I forgot in the Ahsoka episode. I was like, oh, the Boba Fett thing didn't come up really at all. Like it was such a peripheral thing for what was a big setup in the previous thing. And so the reveal coming from behind the rocks, Finnick being up on the rock with the sniper position, the choice of being in such a vibrant and organic space with a bunch of tiny little places for these guys to hide out and do their thing. And then you have the, like Lucy was saying, the stormtroopers come down and they're in stark contrast to nature. Like you see the Empire's like opposition to nature. Like they're in bright white, standing out, rigid, uncomfortable in this environment. And you also see how the Empire does not value the stormtroopers' lives, because these stormtroopers are actually good troopers, and this guy's still like, nope. But the Robert Rodriguez kicks in, and they get all the great angles. Like the gaffy stick swings felt the weight from the way that they had like these low worm's eye view cameras, and then like a cane, and you see it shatter the stormtrooper's helmet, and like you feel the thud, and you can hear the bones crushing underneath, and it was beautifully done.
I also realized there was another unspoken callback that they had the high ground the whole time. That's why they won. What else do we have from there? Speaking of new toys, they had the Yellow Trooper. I haven't seen that since Clone Wars. Any stormtroopers with the yellow coating, usually meaning battalion or with some type of infantry. But I don't know. I don't think they really explained it. Is that the guy that brought the gun in? I'm not sure. But he was there. And
he might have been heavy weapons, but you do make a good point. They're doing a better job at highlighting the stormtroopers a little bit more individually, as they were in the Clone Wars series, and as you would kind of expect them to be, I think.
Yeah,
it's a nice mashup. I think that Favreau's doing, bridging the movies and the cartoons and bringing, both, mythologies together on screen. And kudos to him. He's set it up, and we've got 2 more big episodes to go after this.
Do you think those knee rockets were all Rodriguez?
No,
I think it was another nice weapon to highlight.
I mean, were those canon?
Yeah, those are canon.
Oh, Jesus, that's awesome.
Yeah, I can grab my giant Boba Fett right now. We can
bring it up. Yeah, because I saw that part, and I was like, I didn't even see that till maybe the 3rd time because there's so much going on. I was like, that motherfucker just shoots some rockets out of his knees.
Yeah, he shoots them out of his wrist, and then he goes on like in the next few seconds to shoot him out of his knees.
Oh, Jesus, you're right. Is it on both sides or just one? It's pretty nice.
both sides.
Nice. That's what those were. I thought they were just knee pads. They got some.
Barrel was melted. The barrel was melted in the house fire.
Really? But you saved it. You saved it.
You survived the Sarlacc pit.
Actually, one of my roommates did actually.
I like that you got to see Boba Fett's honor system, and not that he's this scoundrel that they kind of portray him in the movies.
Sure.
That he does have an honor code. I mean, they're bounty hunters; they do have some type of code. And I thought they expressed that pretty well. And then you need an excuse to start crewing up. You son of a bitch, I'm in. So once that starts,
yeah,
we're gonna get our chance to see the comedian guy again.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. I thought Bill Burr did a great job in his episode last season. Pleasantly surprised by his acting abilities.
So, Strutter, tell us about the Dark Troopers.
That's racist.
Maybe.
I think that
you told us 3 different types last week.
Yeah, there's 3 different types of Dark Troopers, and they sometimes get confused with the Shadow Troopers. But the Shadow Troopers are different, as are the Death Troopers. But the Dark Trooper program was a program to make genetically superior, obedient, cybernetic, cyborgs. They're making it was a cyborg problem. And then the second iteration had just cyborg brains and bigger bodies, and then the final iteration had giant dudes in armor. I'm like, where are my Star Wars troopers? Like, I actually have representations of them.
What I thought was kind of cool. I put the 2 together. Is Jon Favreau. Did all the Iron Man movies, and you saw a lot of it with the way he treats the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and the Dark Troopers. So I'm like, this kind of reminds me of some of the scenes from Iron Man.
You mean like the flight propulsion stuff? The way they
the way they fly, the way they're designed. the way they're shot, certainly. You also get to see Grogu toss the two guards just around the cell, just toying with them as Moff Gideon walks in. It's like, yeah, just let them go for a minute, and watches these two stormtroopers just get ragdolled around the room.
I mean, he went for a choke, right? He went a little dark side on there.
Yeah, sure he did. And it was kind of interesting that Moff Gideon was like, yeah, we're going to use you. You're not going to kill you. We're going to see if we can turn you to the dark side. Like, he's got more than just blood donor plans, I think, in mind for Grogu at this time. And you can tell how sinister, and he just doesn't care. He's got an all-star team he could get together right now.
And I mean, if they're going, the Mandalorians, the other ones are going for the Darksaber right now, so they're bound to.
Yep.
They're basically going to the same place.
Yep, they go in the same place.
So they're probably going to have to. They might accidentally crew up on the spot. Oh, nice.
But this is the original Dark Trooper. They came with jetpacks. They had special Catorsis armor that was deflective of Jedi bolts and blasters. They came in dark, obviously, and they had an improved E11 carbine, which made it easier to fly. So that's that one. This is the end of the program.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are the big bulky ones.
This is the Dark Trooper 3. They completely forego the organics, and at this point is another killer robot that's, carries around a missile launcher for a pistol and has boot jets and extra armor and all sorts of different crap stuff. So yeah, like that's the difference. And this is the dark, what are they called? The Dark Guards? The Emperor's Shadow Guard. Yeah, that was a big distraction. I nerded out. So yeah, the Dark Trooper program was something that was increasingly set up to make improved, pliable stormtroopers who are extremely deadly. And it was kind of the first run at what would become the Clone Wars ideas, because it was written, before then. It was part of that Timothy Zahn, Dark Reign. The novel out of the novellas. But I think, I'm not one for huge conjecture and like this is what I think is going to happen in the next couple episodes. But I think, with that said, I think Gideon wants Grogu to. I think those Dark Troopers are cybernetic. There's probably something human on the inside, and he wants to manipulate Grogu's midi-chlorians to possibly make more force-sensitive Dark Troopers and get the best of both worlds. A bunch of Darth Vaders he can control, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of what I saw. I don't know, but you never know. I mean, he does have the saber, and the way he held it in front of him was like, you know what this is, buddy? What do you think, Lucy? Force-sensitive? I know we've kind of talked about this.
Moff Gideon?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Moff Gideon's at least force-sensitive. I don't know if how well he can control the force, but there's people out there like who was that old lady from episode 9 with the big eyes?
Oh yeah.
All right.
So the way that I think that this episode ended was truly reminiscent of maybe a Woody Allen Bullets Over Broadway. The way they keep calling in these anthologies are I thought the episode actually ended dope. I thought and again, I have this insidious, there's bottom line, they're selling toys. Like insidious as it is, bottom line, they're selling toys. And a cute Grogu glowing handcuff, that shit's selling. Come on, like, oh, you get to plug it in and look at it, it grows. Oh, and his eyes closed when he's laying down, but when you hold him up, his eyes open. When his eyes close when he's laying down. And if I put this button, his one ear just wiggles. Oh, he looks like a fiend. Look at him. He looks like a fiend.
Hey man, Disney didn't get to cash in on them last Christmas. They're going overboard this year.
they're making up for that solo money. But what I will also say, in sense of that I did not see coming, because there was a lot of this, not to say, you know, it was predictable, blah, 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 but there was a lot of this that was fan service that you were like, oh, that's dope, that's dope, that's dope. Like maybe they'll kill Finnick. They're not killing Boba Fett. They're not killing, there was a certain lack of, they made Finnick make me care more about Finnick. And I think it's more important that they're bringing in Cara Dune and Carl Weathers next. So that way you do have a large cast of people that you care about. Some die. But what caught me on surprise on this one is that the Razor Crest died. Did not see that coming. Bold move. And again, I will say a great way to set up more toys. Because he's going to buy another ship. Yeah. You know, like it's going to be that thing.
Well, you know what?
So, again, I'm not to be.
I really love how they treated the Slave One Boba Fett ship, like how it would come in in a vertical position and then like change over to almost like a Transformers horizontal position, and it made sense. They did like the perfect scene with that one coming down onto Tatooine. I was like, oh, that's just like from when he was landing on Cloud City. I was like, oh. So, it's like even the ship made a bigger impact back in the day than I think, its original screen time. It created a legend. And hey, Disney's going to capitalize on all this stuff. I don't know if
I definitely prefer you calling it Boba Fett ship.
On that note.
Yeah.
On that note. All right. We got, I believe, 2 more episodes. This has been quite a ride, man. I like the last 3 episodes. They were really kind of made up for anything people might have thought the show lost something, which I kind of heard in the beginning a little bit. This is some of the best Star Wars stuff we've ever seen, I think. It's pretty cool.
I agree.
Yeah, be back next week talking about the episode.
Signing out from Phoenix.
Boba Fresh coming from San Francisco. I thought that they did an amazing job continuing to build out this world. We're having a lot of fun sharing our ideas as all of this continues to grow. I look forward to seeing where the story ends up, and I hope you join us for the next couple of episodes as we make our way there. Landing horizontally, taking off vertically, Boba Fresh out.